Hey everybody, welcome back to Weight Loss for Women Over 40. I am your host, Nikki T, and I still have a little bit of a head cold today, so sorry if it's a little nasally sounding, but it's me, it's not the recording. So we are continuing with the Confidence in Clothes series, and today's conversation is one of those subtle things that is really going to shift a lot for you. And we're not just talking about losing 20 pounds. We are talking about, and we're not talking about buying new clothes either, even though we've been talking about, confidence for the last couple episodes. We're going to be talking about something that you do every single day without even realizing it. And that thing is either reinforcing insecurity or it's creating confidence instantaneously. And that is your posture. And this is something I've spent years understanding, not just as a coach, but through my background as a professional ballet dancer. I was so much the technician. I really love and am fascinated by the human body in the sense of how it all works, how it's all put together. And I spent years being the technician as I crafted, my ballet skills, and then I went into personal training. But it's so fascinating how our body moves so much better, right? When things are in alignment or things are in a certain way, in a posture, right? And also in my background as a physical therapist assistant, we also learn about posture, right? Ergonomics and things that help you do the things that you want to do, right? So we're going to be diving a little bit deeper, more than just stand up straight. We're going to be talking about how your body literally shapes your identity and how your posture rewires your perception. Because again, my whole premise is really about mindset and understanding how your mindset and the psychology all fits into this big package of you wanting to lose weight. And posture is part of it. And most women just believe that, when they lose the weight, when they get rid of those extra pounds, that's when you're going to feel confident. That's when you're going to feel amazing in your body. And what actually happens is your body, you shrink your body, right? You round your shoulders, you cross your arms, and you try to hide your stomach. This is when you're in the process of not quite there yet, right? So you haven't gotten the body yet, and you are going to subconsciously shrink your body. You're going to be doing things that make you feel smaller, make your body look smaller in an attempt to psychologically feel like you're smaller. And without realizing it, you are training your brain to believe that there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with this body, right? Posture isn't just physical, it's communication. You communicate your body language to other people, but more importantly, you communicate it to yourself. There's a lot of studies based on how your body holds on to things, especially trauma and things like that. So it's well worth the time to investigate this, right? So I know from my ballet background, posture is everything. If you have seen a ballet dancer, if you've been in the ballet world, day one, you're learning how to stand up. And part of it is the look of ballet, right? But it's also to allow your body more ease of movement. Because when you stand up in a certain way, your body is able to move a little bit differently. And that could be said for different genres of dance. So, like modern dance is very grounded. I was very good at modern dance. It's funny, most of my modern dance professors or choreographers, to be honest, loved me because I'm very grounded. I'm a petite dancer or was a petite dancer, and I could ground my body and do the modern dance. I could also do ballet, right? Which is the total opposite. It's very up and lifted. And then you have jazz, which is kind of in between, right? So each methodology has a way that enhances the movement of whatever choreography you're doing or whatever dance you're doing. And this portrays through when you do performances and it tells the audience who you are, what you're about. If it's something very grounded, it could be very moody kind of dance or a very ethereal. I'm thinking of like Giselle or Les Safides, if you're familiar with any of those ballets. But it also shows how confident you are. And even if you were like stepping out on stage to give a speech, posture is everything, right? And it's important to understand that because that is how you're portraying yourself to the world. right? Body language. But again, it's also how you are internally reflecting on yourself. And what's interesting too is in physical therapy, right? I saw how people who were injured, who were in a lot of pain, I worked with people who were amputees. And, even though the body part is no longer there, there's a lot of psychological stuff that's going on. Um, and it changes how you hold yourself. I mean, think about how you're in pain. If you've ever seen me have a migraine, oh my gosh, I have a migraine. I'm usually like hunched over, I'm blocking the sun, blocking light. I might be squinting my eyes, noises, like my shoulders are probably up. Like you can see my posture is very indicative of the pain that I'm in, right? And over time, right, your posture just reinforces psychologically some things that are going on, whether you realize it or not. So your body is constantly expressing confidence or practicing insecurity, and so many other different variations in between. We're going to be focusing on confidence and insecurity, though, in this one. So your brain is constantly gathering evidence about who you are. This happens with circumstances that come into your life. This happens with things that you notice, I'm not going to say the right word, your activation system, where you see a lot of the things that you are thinking about. So I know when I wanted my Jeep, I saw Jeeps everywhere. Before I wanted a Jeep, like I've always wanted a Jeep, but before I got serious about wanting a Jeep, I never saw Jeeps, like very rarely. And when I decided that I wanted a Jeep, oh my gosh, I saw them everywhere. My kids and I actually made a game out of it, and it was so much fun to play. That's another story. But your brain is constantly gathering evidence about who you are based on what you think, based on what you believe you are. And your body is also a signal for this. So if your body is collapsed or your rounded shoulders from sitting in front of a desk all day, if you're feeling tight, you're feeling protective, you're trying to take up less space, your brain goes, we're not confident, we're not safe, we need to hide. But when you shift your posture even slightly to being more open, to being more lifted, maybe grounded, maybe intentional, your brain starts to reinterpret yourself. And it doesn't happen like in the future, it starts immediately. And this is something that we used to use in rehab settings, because changing your posture changes not only how your body functions in a certain way, but it also has signals to your nervous system. So again, this isn't just mindset stuff, it's also neurology, it's physiology. So let's bring this back to clothes, because we are talking about confidence in clothes. You can put on the same exact outfit, and depending on your posture, it can look totally different. You can feel really uncomfortable and like you're trying to disappear, or you can feel really grounded and confident and fully expressed. Nothing changed except for how you're holding yourself. Imagine you put on this outfit and you're like, ooh, I'm not really sure about this outfit. And then someone who you regard having a high opinion, like you think this person knows what they're talking about, and they're like, oh my gosh, you look amazing. You may change your mind about that outfit, and you may stand up a little bit taller. When women tell me that they hate how they look in everything and all the clothes, what they really mean is they don't feel safe being seen. It's not the clothing so much, and it's not the weight itself. It's an embodiment problem. I don't even like to use the word problem, but it's how you identify as yourself. That's the cog in the wheel. That's the stick in the spoke that we need to kind of pull out and take a look at. So I'm not going to tell you on this podcast just to stand up straight, because that's not helpful at all. And that may create tension because you're going to feel a little bit off. And it may ironically feel even more uncomfortable to you. So instead, think of it this way. And this goes back to my ballet training and also what was reinforced when I was doing physical therapy. But most important, day one in ballet, you need to stand up tall and lengthen your spine. For those of you who don't know, Pilates is, yeah, it's a big thing now, but back in like I did a project actually on Joseph Pilates while I was in school, and I can't remember if it was 1920 or 1940, so don't quote me on this, but Joseph Pilates has been around for a long time. And if you don't know, that's why it's called Pilates, because that's what his last name was. But he took all these genres and threw them into basically a bucket and mixed them up. It was a combination of boxing, circus training, gymnastics, ballet, all kinds of things. And he put it in this mishmash, and he actually did this work on patients in hospitals. He had this whole contraption, if you're familiar with the reformer, this whole contraption that he made in hospitals to help patients get better. So the irony of Pilates is it came from like a physical therapy background, but ballet dancers were doing Pilates back in the day. It was like the secret to ballet dancers. And now, of course, Pilates is more mainstream and it's been watered down. I know I was a Pilates instructor for a number of years, but it's watered down. But it focuses on lengthening your body. So in ballet, you're taught to stand up and lengthen your spine. And it's really about creating space between each part of your vertebrae. And you do that by feeling taller, almost like imagining you have a string on your top of your head and you're pulling up, like you're almost like you're a puppet, right? And as we get older, this is really important because that disc space between your vertebrae and your spine compresses, right? It compresses from gravity. It compresses from age because those discs in between the vertebrae are decreasing, water, all that stuff that makes the disc viable and cushions, right? The discs, the vertebrae in between them. And of course, we're very familiar with pinched nerves, right? Herniated discs. That's where it's all coming from. If it's pinching a nerve, you're going to have pain in your arm or your leg or somewhere else. And when you lengthen your spine, you practice elongating that space between the spine. So that alone helps you stand up. Another thing that we're taught in ballet is your chest is open, right? So the example I used to give was if you could lay a measuring stick, right, one of those yardsticks from your collarbone from shoulder to shoulder, and if you were curved in and your measuring stick did not touch your middle of your chest, that meant your shoulders were rounded. So when you pull your shoulders back and open up the chest, you are expanding not only your chest area, but you're also expanding your lungs and how you breathe. So opening up your sternum, again, we used to talk about having a string attached to the middle of your sternum, pulling up to the ceiling, right? Not sticking the girls out so much that it's too exaggerated, right? But the sternum part, right? The sternum of your chest lifting up. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, you can go to my YouTube channel, Weight Loss for Women Over 40, and watch this. I am kind of doing a demonstration a little bit. I am sitting, but maybe you get a better idea of it. But this naturally will open up your chest. Now, think about it. If you are sitting at a desk all day and then you go home and you sit and you watch TV, chances are you are rounded forward, your chest is caved in, and you are contracting all those muscles in the front and you are stretching all those muscles in the back, right? And this posture continues when you stand up. If you don't want the hunchback, right, kyphosis on your back, start practicing opening up your chest, right? The third one is the back of the neck. This one is another one. This also comes from, too, if you're posturing forward, right? But your head is up because you have to look at your computer all day or whatever, you are creating you're shrinking the back of your neck. So when you're standing up and your chest is open and you think about elongating in that back part of your neck, again, this is going to help you stand up. It gives you more of, I used to tell my dancers, think of your head in a pool of water and your head is just at water level and you're trying to reach your feet down to the bottom of the pool. So again, this is where you kind of lift your head up more and feel in the back of your neck coming forward. Because a lot of us have this forward posture where your neck is jutted out. Let's see if I can turn to the side where it's jutted out. And you want to pull it in and stand up tall, right? The next thing is when you are standing, your weight evenly distributed through your feet. This is a very grounded and safe stance. And it signals to your body that you are grounded. Think about it. If you're standing off on one side or the other, and not to say that you can't shift, right? You don't always have to have 2 feet flat on the floor. But when you have this grounded confidence, it exudes safety to your body. Think of military people, how they stand. So I've never been in the military. Yes, I did boot camps in the park, but they weren't military boot camps. They were mommy and me boot camps. And but I have a tendency to stand military-ish, I guess, especially when I'm working out. Feet are a little bit wider, hands might be behind my back. And I've had people come up to me and ask me if I've been in the military, and I'm like, no. But there is an element of groundedness. Like when you see a military person standing there, you're thinking grounded, secure, safety, right? At least that's what I am. When you do this for your body, it also will ground you. And as a side note, when you're kind of putting this all together, again, think of that almost that pool analogy, but go from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet and feel like everything is elongating up and also down into the ground. So when I used to teach ballet, one of the things, ballerinas, you kick your leg up in the air, right? So when you're doing a grand battement, which is a kick in the air, if you do not have the exact amount of force going down through the leg that you are standing on, you will fall on your patootie. So as you are kicking the leg up, you are lengthening that leg that you're standing on as you go into this position to ground your body so you don't wipe out. And there's this constant yin and yang of our body and a lot of things in life. But when you are standing up tall and you have this groundedness coming through your body down the bottom and through up the top, it is like are locked and loaded in a really good posture. Now, there's other things that are entailed in posture in the sense of like where your pelvis is. I think I've talked about this on some other podcasts. Because I'm not visually showing you this in a gym setting. Unfortunately, my one YouTube channel, which had all my exercise videos, got completely wiped out. So, but I did have it on there. Maybe I'll start throwing some of those on my Weight Loss for Women Over 40. So you can see they are older videos, but they are super helpful in the sense of like exercise and the physiology part. So one of the things with your pelvis is, lengthening the lower back. A lot of people have a lot of lower back problems, and a lot of it comes from weak muscles in the stomach. You're not engaging your stomachs. So that's probably a whole nother topic, but keep in mind the things that I'm telling you for posture, this is not all inclusive, right? So the last thing I want to tell you is about breathing into your body. As a ballet dancer, we were really taught we were taught to breathe in the lower part of your back, which is not even physically possible because I'm just going to say that when you do think about breathing in your lower back, it calms the chest, right? So you won't see a ballet dancer unless they're really huffing and puffing. But even if they're out of breath, chances are you're not going to see them like breathing heavily through their chest area, right? They're going to be doing it through their stomach and keeping it a little bit lower. But when you breathe into your body, your breath is so helpful in the sense of communicating to your body, right? So think about it. When you're doing short, fast breaths, your body thinks something's happening, like it's on alert, right? When you take a deep breath in and you have a long exhale, like you would in yoga or in meditation, that long exhale really signals your brain to relax, like it's safe, we're good. Think about it this way. If you were being chased in an alley, your breath starts getting, oh my gosh, I got to get out of here. Like this anxious fight or flight type thing, right? And then when you're in a safe area, you're like, I'm good, I'm safe. Okay. So notice the breath that you're holding and having. And again, these are small, subtle shifts, but they will completely change how your body feels and also how your clothes sit with you. So you absolutely can lose weight and still carry yourself like someone who is very uncomfortable in their body. I know I did this for a long time. There were moments when I was like, yeah, I look great, I feel great. But then there were other moments where I had, the leaner body and I still felt uncomfortable. And I see this all the time, right? It is not about the body. It is about what's going on in your brain, in your head, your mindset, what you think about your body, what you think about yourself. And it's very normal to hit your weight loss goal and be like, I still don't feel confident in my clothes. Because again, confidence is never about the weight. It's about how you exist inside your body. And again, posture is one of those things that you can shift today and have it be instantaneous signal to your brain. Okay, you're probably, if you're used to hunching over and you know bending forward a lot, and you're not automatically going to be like dancer posture. Don't expect that, but over time it will happen, right? Just keep, and you're going to be tired, especially if you're used to bending over and you start standing up. You're going to be tired because your body's not used to holding yourself and supporting yourself. So be patient with yourself. So I want you to start seeing your posture as part of your weight loss journey. It's not a I'll fix it later. It's I can fix it now, and it's who I am becoming as this leaner version. And I'll tell you, as an added bonus, as you get older, this is going to be vital for you. Take a look around, go to a nursing home or go to a senior center and see how many of those lovely people are hunched over, who are sitting in a chair all day long. When they stand up, they're a foot shorter than they used to be because of their posture, whether that's leaning over on a walker or just naturally. Start today and really counteract what's going on in your body. Your 90-year-old, your 110-year-old body will thank you. So remember that confidence doesn't come from the body that you create. Confidence is a state of mind. It's how you look at yourself. It's how you embody yourself. It's how you decide to carry your body through all this. So here's what I would love for you to do today. Pick out one outfit, and instead of changing your clothes, change how you wear them. Stand up differently. Do these subtle shifts, right? Lengthen, open your chest, take a deep breath, ground yourself, and notice what changes, not just in how you look visually, but how you feel inside. If you liked this series, please leave a review. I would love to hear from you. If you love this podcast, tell a friend. But if you're also realizing that your weight loss journey is not just about the food or the workouts, yes, that's a part of it, but it's not where you start. It's not the starting line to losing weight. It is about identity. It is about safety. It is about how you think about your body. It is about how you show up for your body. If you want to take this to that level and you're done with diets, because I don't give meal plans, I do not give you some calorie count, macro count, nothing like that. If you are ready to learn exactly how to lose weight for the last time, no matter what is going on in your life, and to actually enjoy the body that you're in as you get there, go apply for private coaching. You can go to weightlossforwomenover40.net/call and apply. It's not about changing your habits. It's about changing the relationship with your body, with your mind, with how you think about you. And it's a beautiful relationship to work on because you're always going to be with you. You are stuck with you, whether you like it or not. And you're going to take you and your beautiful brain with you everywhere you go. So why not work on it? Why not understand why you do the things that you do or don't do? And the side effect is losing the weight. But I'm telling you, you're going to walk out of working with me in such a different level of mindset and understanding yourself that you're not going to really, I hate to even say this, you're not going to care about the weight loss that you've had because your mindset is going to be so totally different. So if that's something that resonates with you and you really want to do this, again, go to weightlossforwomen over 40.net/call. The link will be in the show notes and apply. I do not take everybody. I am very limited with who I work with because I want to make sure I am ultra focused on my clients so they get the best results and that they get the attention that they need. So I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you take these into practice. I hope you feel confident today or a little bit more confident and keep going. All right. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.